Start off by prepping your brush. What you want to do is saturate it in the white gel paint and twist as you are dipping it in. Kind of twist and twirl it to get the right amount on the brush. We are going to create one stroke and we're trying to simplify petals here. So as you press those bristles down, the petal will widen. Then position your brush slightly lower on the main petal to create a shorter stroke, and do this on both sides to create a natural looking petal. We're going to repeat that process. When you press the bristles down to the nail, they will create a wider shape, and when you lift it, it creates a thinner shape. So press at the top of the petal, and then you want to release the pressure as you near the middle of the flower. Make sure your brush is loaded for each stroke. We don't want to dry brush this flower. Create as many flowers as you like. I opted out for 2, slightly off the nail to make the design more eye-catching. Next, what you want to do is add color to the design. You want to mix a little bit of orange to the white and make sure you're mixing this thoroughly. Load your brush and create small strokes on about 1/4 of the petal towards the middle. We are almost like blushing this flower. We want to add a little bit of like a highlight of color, not too much. And then to create depth, I'm going in with neon orange, like a blood orange shade, and that is going to add depth. Add a couple of strokes in the middle of each petal, and if you feel like it needs a little bit more, feel free to add extra. Matte top coat. We want to top coat the whole design, preferably with something that's no wipe. You still need to wipe it with IPA or a cleanser, but it's best for 3D work to have a no wipe top coat that will secure that nail for us. Once it's cured, we'll add details to the flower before adding any 3D gel. You want to use a fine liner and a tiny amount of the gel that we pre-mixed before. So the first one you used a nice light colored orange, and you are going to pop a line on each side of the petal. Don't outline it, just add it so it like highlights the petal, not all the way up, just about to the lowest part of the petal. This again is going to help us with depth in this design. Steady yourself with your pinky to help to keep your hand nice and steady and nice and smooth when creating these strokes. Using white, add about 2 to 3 little lines to each petal and then create tiny dots for the middle. And this is what's really going to bring this flower together. This is our 2D design, and now we need to turn it into 3D with 3D gel. There's no need to top coat this again because we're going to be going over it with a 3D gel. You want to choose something with a built-in top coat to ensure maximum shine at the end. I really like this Madame Glam 3D gel that comes in a tube. I find that it gives the best texture to the petals and it's just a dream to work with. So using a fine liner, I'm starting with very thin lines from the middle and then again going over each side. So imagine how you were painting on the petal right at the start. You're doing the same but with a fine liner. Don't worry if it doesn't cover the whole petal, it doesn't need to just yet, because we're going to add extra on top of it once we've cured it, just so it adds that extra depth and 3D element to this design. I like texture, I like playing around with designs, I like adding depth to them. So this 3D gel is amazing for lots and lots of different designs. Just like with the petals, remember that the more pressure you put on a brush, the thicker it is going to be. With 3D gel, things move a little bit differently. So when you pick up a bead on your brush, very gently place it where you want it to be the thickest, and then brush it out with almost no pressure to the rest of the nail, so going towards the middle. Cure that first layer in the lamp, and now you're going in and adding a little bit more on top of the ones you've already done, as well as filling in any gaps on the sides of the ones you have created. This is really going to bring this into almost like a crystal looking flower design. You know, those Murano glass flowers and all those beautiful pieces of art that they make in Murano. This is what it reminds me of. If you want your 3D to be really high, then keep a really light pressure on the brush, place that bead on top of whatever line you've made, and that will create a higher line. If you want to keep it really low and thin, then just make sure you press that brush more to the nail, and that will make it flatter. But this is it, cure it and you're done.